Film in there.
Get your hands off of me.
Don't film in there.
I'm not an inmate. I'm not an inmate.
Don't
touch me.
186 Central. You can call a police officer, escort these people out of here. They're disrupting.
I haven't done anything wrong.
You're going to be out of here.
How come?
Because you are. That's it.
Why are you battering me?
Oh, come on.
Don't grab me, dude. I'm not an inmate.
I didn't. I blocked you from camp film.
He got it.
And were you back in my official exam room just now?
Was
You
I?
walked back past the by yourself unescorted.
Yeah.
Okay, this.
What happens when detention officers confuse policy with law? When they say delete your footage or get arrested? You get moments like this, where knowledge is the only defense and your rights are on the line. We went to the public lobby of a Kansas jail and got grabbed, threatened, and told the First Amendment didn't apply. But the camera kept rolling. Because in public, you don't need permission to exercise your rights.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, what is y'all's policy on bringing the phones in during visitation?
For what?
Just like if you had a camera in there, is it okay?
Let me check.
Okay.
You're trying to visit.
No, we're
not visiting.
we're just curious on the policy because I know it's Sunday right now, but do you guys have visitation on Sunday?
We don't have face-to-face visitation. It's over a kiosk.
Oh, okay, so you're allowed to have your phone and camera in here?
Except for the access South Valley for HBX. Simple. Give me just a second.
Okay.
You can videotape all you want out here, but
Yeah.
you cannot videotape the other people because they have the right to privacy and there's criminal histories and stuff like that that you cannot.
Are you the supervisor for
I
today?
am not. I have a sergeant.
Oh, okay.
Do they put their pictures on the internet, like on a jail inquiry?
The jail does not, as far as I know, but the sheriff, I mean, they can put out wanted posters and things like that. That's
What I was going to ask you is when you say not to film in there, are you talking about tint the windows? Because if we're in a public area like right here and we see in there,
Well, you're going to take that up with the sheriff or jail administrator, certainly not me. But I know you can't videotape for those reasons. In there.
Yeah, and I agree with you. But we're not in there. We can see in there, but we're not actually in there.
But there's monitors up there.
Is it okay to film
And
those?
there's people not in there.
What's-
You can film. We're not trying to keep you out of that.
Yeah,
There's people in there. There's people in there with medical issues. And there's
Yeah, and
people
I agree
all
with you.
over
I
and
agree
all
with
that,
you.
so
And
we
we're not.
can't-
Well, and I appreciate you supporting that and not letting their HIPAA laws get violated.
that's what-
Because it's
that's what
on
I'm
you
talking
guys
about.
to protect them.
Right.
It's on you guys to
Right.
protect them. But if I can see in there, I can film in there.
Well, then you're going to take that issue up with.
Is
the
it-
people. I don't have.
Is there like? Wait. Are you like just a detention officer?
Yes.
Or so you're not a deputy?
No.
Okay. Maybe you can ask the deputy or something, or sergeant or something. Because if we can see in there, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, if we can see, we can see.
I mean, tint the windows if you don't want people filming in there. Because, look, for instance, I can
Do not film in there. Do not film in there.
Get your hands off of me.
Don't film in there.
I'm not an inmate. I'm not an inmate. Don't touch me.
186 Central. You can call a police officer, escort these people out of here. They're disrupting.
I haven't done anything wrong.
You're going to be out of here
How come?
because you are. That's it.
Why are you battering me?
Oh, come on.
Don't grab me, dude. I'm not an
I
inmate.
didn't. I blocked you from camp film.
He got it.
I don't care what you do.
can't block me from filming
So I
that.
don't know what your deal is. If you have
Okay,
a problem with
okay.
the way the place runs, feel free to talk to the sheriff administrator.
I'm in the lobby. Go in there and mess with the inmates. Don't put your hands on me.
We're just out here in the public.
Well, you talk to the police or do whatever you need to
Okay.
do. Okay.
We'll talk to the
That's
police.
fine. You're welcome to do that.
I will. We'll wait for him.
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
We're just standing out here in the lobby.
Right. And you're free to do that.
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is just
And
don't.
you walk around the building, film the
Yeah.
building.
All I'm saying is don't put your hands on me. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so you
But
stepped
you
in to film
made
in.
contact and I didn't consent
You
to
were breaking
contact.
the law when you started on the HIPAA stuff.
I'm breaking the law.
On the HIPAA stuff, you were.
No,
You
I'm
showed me
not.
on camera. Yes, you did.
We can't break a HIPAA law.
It's on you guys.
Okay.
Tint the
I'm
window.
not
Tint the
gonna argue
window
with you.
over
I'm
there.
not gonna
I'm not
argue
going to argue with you. Tint the window
I'm not
over.
arguing with you. You
Okay.
can argue with the administrator and the sheriff all day, but you're about to get in some trouble here.
Okay. I'm going to get in some
you are.
trouble. Okay.
Because I know you're stepping over the boundary.
You just said you're not an officer.
You're going to find out.
Are you an
You're in.
officer?
I mean, which boundary? Let me know.
You're just
That
going
way
to
we
find
don't
out.
step over it.
You're here to argue, obviously. I'm not going to argue.
You came out here. You came out here to us. We didn't
Because they
say
said you were in there with messing with cameras. Yes.
messing with cameras.
That's what they told me.
This is a public area.
Listen,
You guys
you're
need
here to argue,
to.
I'm not wasting
Okay.
my time with
You already told me I can film
I'm
in
not
here.
wasting my time with you. You're free to do this, yes.
Yes.
Not in there.
But I'm not in there. I'm right here.
That's where you're trying to go.
I'm in.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not trying to get into
Okay,
jail.
okay.
If you-
I'm not gonna
if
argue.
you're
I'm not gonna argue with you guys.
Just save it for the deputies.
Okay,
because
yeah,
I'm
save
not trying to
hey,
get into a secure area.
save it for the deputies.
Save it for
When they
the
come in here
deputies.
and say, hey, if they're in here, as long as they're not a secure area, they're good. Okay.
I guarantee you-
Are you a deputy?
About
You're a detention
what's
officer.
going
Come on
on
now.
with inmates on cameras.
That's y'all's policy. That's not
Can
not
you look
law.
at it from here?
We're looking at it.
Well, let me ask you this: did he zoom in on it? That's
It don't
what it's
matter.
called.
It don't matter.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, whatever. I'm not going to argue with you.
I mean,
That's
can
what
I
you're
look
here
at
to
it
do.
with my eyes?
That's what you're here to do.
Can I look at it with my
You're
eyes?
here to argue. I'm not going to do it. You can talk to the deputy.
Can I look at it with my eyes? Is that okay?
Do your eyes like that? Can you zoom it up to full screen? Can you do that with your eyes?
When I zoom it in, it looks
Listen, sir,
about
I'm
the
not
same
trying to argue with
size.
you. If you have a problem with the policy, then you need to take it up with the
Well,
sheriff.
policy isn't law, so I mean,
Well,
Like, we haven't seen words that say you can't film inside.
I know, but verbally, I'm telling you, you're going to hear from a deputy. in a
tell
minute.
the sheriff to tint the window. If it's an issue for you guys,
If you have an issue with it, you tell the sheriff.
I don't.
Okay, well then, what's your...
well, you're the one that has an issue with it, not me.
Well, just the camera. Because you cannot do that.
Okay. Maybe in secure areas and during visitation, but not in the public lobby.
Go ahead.
It's not a public building.
Yes, it is. This is.
This is out
Public
here.
access.
You ended right there.
Yes, public access.
We didn't go in y'all's secure camera
No,
facility.
but you're... Listen, I'm not arguing with you.
I'm not
I know
gonna
what
argue
you're
with you
doing.
either. I'm not
I know
gonna.
what you're doing.
Okay,
You're not doing it.
okay. Just all I'm saying is next time, just don't put your hands on me.
Next time,
I'm not an
don't
inmate.
Go try to violate the HIPAA law, and I won't.
Violate the
Next time.
HIPAA law.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh
Well,
man.
actually, HIPAA is for the people that are providing the health care.
You-
Don't even tell it to the deputy.
Yeah, I can't violate HIPAA.
Go, yes, you can.
If
No,
you
you can't.
allow me to see stuff, then you have violated HIPAA.
Tint
Zooming
tint
in
the.
on it and filming it is
There's no
it's
names. It's
lobby
not.
license.
Look, do I have patient? Do I have inmate
I'm not gonna argue
information?
with you.
You can't see nothing. Don't put nothing where people can see it. Then.
Nicole Cook.
Did Selena come
Okay,
out yet?
Nicole Cook.
Did she go in there?
Oh, she's out.
Okay.
Yeah, our ride is out. What we did, we just get tours of buildings anywhere.
And you're welcome to do that.
Yeah.
You can do it on any place you want to do it except in there.
Well, I'd have to disagree with you.
Well, you can disagree, but you're going to be disagreeing with the sheriff or administrator.
That's
Listen,
fine.
That's a policy.
I'm fine. That's
We
policy.
have
You're
some
right.
businesses or actually
Let me
places
ask you a
that say
question.
no.
Let me ask you a question. If you were in there, if you were in a cell, and you had medical issues or whatever your deal was, do you want somebody staying in the lobby filming that and then putting
Tint
it
the
out somewhere?
window. Period.
You want them blowing it up to full screen? Is that what you want?
I'm zooming in. I can zoom in. It's not on me to
From
violate
the window,
y'all's.
you really
She
can't
was
tell
still
if
in there,
it's a
so
medical issue
you're,
or if
you're
it's-
blocking the doorway.
Can't tell, but
Don't obstruct the doorway. That isn't a criminal offense.
when you look at somebody, you can't see the face.
Yes, it is.
Unless they have a recent leg or something.
You wouldn't know.
Kinda like what we
Well,
have right now.
that's where you would be wrong. You would be wrong on some of that.
Unless they're laying on the ground here.
No, you'd be wrong on that too. So, but that's the whole deal. It's not
Are we done here?
I don't know. You guys tell me.
all good.
They're out, so we're good.
You don't have to do it again.
Make sure that- No, I'm pretty sure they don't.
Hey, we'll talk to the deputy. That's fine. We'll talk to him.
Volunteer patrol, I've never seen that.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. What's going on?
I'm just walking around videoing
Videoing what?
anything that's in public.
Okay. They were videotaping, zooming in on the cameras on the inside. We came out to stop them. They want to argue the whole point. The point wasn't they were in the lobby. The point was they were zooming in
I
on
was
the
to a
cameras.
public area, just saw
Yeah, we
what
got
you
the
see
HIPAA laws.
publicly.
Okay.
Refusing to leave, refusing to shut them off, and recording inmates in
Did
cells.
they ask you to leave?
They did. We did several
We
times.
left. So we
No, you,
Well, they're
no,
saying you
no,
didn't.
you didn't. This,
I'm here.
this one.
I mean, I'm outside.
Very
And then they
adamantly
said we
argued.
could be in there publicly.
You could be in there. You
We
could be in the
asked
Yeah.
you.
lobby.
We asked you not to record the cameras and
The
inmates in
cameras
the
is the
cells,
issue
and
we had.
they
And then we stopped.
adamantly
No.
kept on doing
No, he
it,
did
zooming
not. He
in,
went back same day.
zoomed
I
in,
stopped.
and said they didn't care
Do
about
you have your
it.
ID on you?
I do, but I don't need to give it because I'm not violating any laws or anything. We're just out here walking around.
We're just trying to figure out what's going on, so I need to identify who you are.
How does that help you figure out what's going on? I mean,
Well,
if you
because
knew
I identify you, and then that way, if something comes up, we can contact you later.
What would
And then
come
I
up?
know exactly who I talked to.
Other than the cameras.
Well, right now, the fact that you're
The
videotaping
cameras,
back in the
they were
jail,
videotaping the
that's
cameras in
We asked
Well,
them.
they've allowed
there's a
it.
right to privacy back there for the inmates.
They have allowed it by having clear glass windows there,
And they
where you can
also-
publicly stand.
They took our names and badges, said they're going to post it online
I didn't say
media. This young man
I
did.
walk up and look in that window right now.
Can I just go ahead and get your IDs?
We
Because
don't. No. I'm
you're
not gonna-
videotaping. I don't know what's the big deal is that we know who you are. That's it.
Yeah.
I need you to identify who you are.
We don't need ID. We haven't broke a law. We haven't done anything.
Okay.
We've told you what we're doing. We're just getting video of anywhere we
and
can
you
be public.
can. You publicly, you can.
Thank you.
Yeah, we
But
are.
I'm
Yeah,
just.
the sidewalk's public.
And
So-
when we walked in
so
there,
is the lobby,
it didn't
but-
say restricted area.
But you were not just in the lobby. You were doing.
Anything that I can see from a public area, I'm allowed to film. Okay. If I can see that, that's on you guys. If you don't want to, if you don't want people to see that, tint the windows. Tell the sheriff you guys need to tint the windows.
It's great, right? If they leave it open,
I don't have an issue with it.
Apparently you do.
It's like a storefront. It's on display for everybody to see. Whether I zoom in or not, or I'm there, it is on a storefront for everybody to see out there.
Tint the windows.
It may be an education day for you guys, but we can walk up to that window and zoom in.
We're not in a
And you
secure
talk about
area. We're
HIPAA,
from a
it's not
public
our
area.
responsibility to provide safety for HIPAA. It is the
No,
facility.
you're right. You're in an area that's public,
Yeah.
but the thing is, they asked you to stop. Did you
Yep.
stop when they asked you?
And we stood there. They
Did you
came
stop
out.
when they asked you?
Well, you don't have to stop
Yeah,
filming
I
when I
already
ask
stopped
you.
when you came out.
It's
Well,
for our
they asked
safety.
you, didn't
It's
they?
for
They
our
didn't
safety.
tell you. They
It's-
asked you, right?
It's for our
You said they
safety.
didn't have to.
What happened was I saw him coming out, so I walked around and didn't have him coming out.
How is it for
That's
your
basically-
safety?
Okay.
I'm not gonna. If you tell me to turn the camera off, I'm not turning the camera off because then
Yeah.
next thing I know, I'm getting beat up or tackled or something. I'm
You-
leaving the
you were
camera
recording
on.
the cameras.
That's
You were
happened.
recording us. You were
We're-
recording the
You really
cameras
think
still.
that you're going to get beat up and tackled if you shut the camera
It's
off?
for my safety, just like that's for your
Everything
safety.
in
No,
there.
I'm not saying that. I'm
We're all running
asking.
video for our own
No,
safety. So.
I'm asking a legitimate question. Do you really think you're going to get beat up and tackled
Well-
if you shut the camera off?
How do you know you're going to get shot the same day? You don't know. Okay, it's for my safety.
No, you
I'm taking
don't.
the precautions. You don't know what's
How's
going to
that?
happen. You
Okay,
you just don't
I don't
know.
know how that's for your safety. Obviously, it would help us immensely in finding out who did it to you. But how's the camera going to stop them from doing
There
that
was
to
no
you?
signs
It's
that said you couldn't
evidence.
go there.
That's what
It
it
is evidence.
It's
But
evidence.
is it for your safety? It's
Yes,
not your safety.
It's for my safety.
It's
'cause
for
if-
justice.
If something happens to me, then I have proof of
But
it.
that doesn't keep you safe. It's already happened to
Okay,
you.
it's
Do you see what I'm saying?
It's safety for me and it's safety for you.
But do you see what I'm saying?
I-
The safety
I-
issues null and void after that. But justice can be
This
served
is-
better that way.
this-
Yes.
Yes,
correct.
exactly. That's what this is my safety.
Okay.
So
All right, we'll get
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
If you don't want anyone back there, put a sign, shut the door.
Or just tell them to leave.
So
Once you've been asked to leave, then that's fair enough.
yeah, we did.
Okay?
Yep, we
Thank
left.
you.
All right, guys.
Who you guys with?
We're just running around together.
Just running around.
hey, Deputy Schaefer.
Cities and towns.
Why are you guys so defensive?
We're not. It's just we
It's
don't
just
want our rights
It's
violated.
just our rights.
It-
You know,
it's-
we have a right.
You guys are freely talking to me right now.
I-
You can walk away if
I-
you want.
I understand,
I
and I
perceive
agree
you
with you.
because I just wanted to understand your point of view. I wanted you to understand mine. I'm just curious. I mean,
we understand
honestly,
you asking.
to
What
tell
I,
you the truth,
Okay.
honestly, we don't deal with this a lot with people just walking around filming everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a body camera on, and you guys got this fancy apparatus for your phone to
I've
film.
got one on too. We've got a camera if I need it.
Oh, there you go. See, we don't run into that a lot, so I'm just curious. It's if I run into something that I'm not used to, I like to question it, find out what's going on.
I'll tell you what I'm doing, just so you guys can better understand.
Okay.
We go to government buildings, state buildings, federal buildings, and we see if they respect our First Amendment right to go and film.
First Amendment right.
There's a lot of places who are they're ill-informed, like these jailers over here. I would really appreciate it. I'm sure you guys are certified, obviously. If you guys can tell them, as long as they're not back in the secure area, we don't have to follow their policy. As long as we're in the public areas, they're fine to film. They're free to film. As long as they're not causing a disturbance, they're not breaking the law. We're not violating
What if
any.
I told you that we've had detention officers come out, surround us, and grab our cameras and damn near throw us to the ground?
So it's just one of those things. I've been doing this. I know what I'm doing. I know I'm allowed to go in there and film. I'm not in a secure area. They're saying you can't film in a secure area, which is correct, but I'm standing in a public area. If I can see into it, I can film it.
Yeah.
I'm not back there physically, so they can't say anything to me.
We've had places change their policy in the way they deal with people walking
Exactly.
with cameras. We've had in Oklahoma County, they
You
damn near
do
slammed us.
understand that these jailers, they have a huge weight on their shoulders trying to maintain safe environment, and we get sued for all kinds of stuff, and they got to try to make sure that they're following policy, they're following law, and all that stuff. And when something like this happens, they feel like they're in a position to try to protect inmates' privacy, stuff like that. You know what I mean? We don't allow cameras to go back there and film back there without certain.
In which case we weren't back there, but
I understand that. I see what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that it's you got to understand that their reactions are. They're just trying to do their job.
Used to grabbing inmates. He came out and grabbed my shoulder. I'm not an inmate. You know, don't grab on me. So.
Okay.
Well, we're going to head out. You guys have a safe day.
All right. Appreciate
we're
your
not
time.
a cop. We're not anything like that. Oh, I was wanting to ask you a question. Both of you guys. We're from Oklahoma, and the governor vetoed permanentless handguns. I'd say the culture in Kansas is very similar to Oklahoma. So it's very much the same people, the same way they react to things. And most people that are going to be carrying their guns open are going to be law-abiding citizens. Wouldn't you say that's what you've encountered?
For what I've encountered, yes.
Okay, good. I appreciate it. Have you had any other, same? Okay. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate it. Because we're going to show this to the legislators down there. We're going to try to push for permanentless carry again this year.
I'm just one officer.
We've done this in every police department we've hit. I've got more than you. I've got quite a few saying we've had no issues with permanentless handguns.
They told us to stop filming. They said we were breaking HIPAA. They tried to block the lens, grab our gear, and shut us down. But here's the truth. HIPAA protects patient info from healthcare providers, not from the public eye. If you don't want people to see it, tint the glass. Policy is not law. And public access means public rights. We stood firm, we stayed respectful, and in the end, they walked away. First Amendment, still undefeated. When public space feels private and cameras challenge comfort, lines get blurred fast. What starts as a quiet visit to a health department quickly turns into confusion, confrontation, and a call to law enforcement. But who crossed the line, and who's drawing it?
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
That's just for patients back there.
I was about to say to you, we should get a door in front of that thing because it looks like there are needles back there, and you know how they love to get them needles. They love it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, Justin's not here. Okay.
I think they just said something
Hi,
about.
can I help you? And were you back in my official exam room just now?
Was
you
I?
Walk back past by yourself unescorted.
Yeah.
Okay, this is basically the equivalent of a doctor's office.
It's the public. All right, you're a county worker, right?
I am a county worker. My name is Angela.
This is a county office.
Yes, but this is the health department, and you don't go back in a physician's exam room unescorted. Okay?
In a public office, you don't leave a build or a section of the office with no door. That should be restricted.
Oh, okay. Well, what else? What can I do for you, gentlemen? What else? What are you here
You could
for?
not call the cops.
Huh?
You could not call the cops.
Well, I suppose I can. Is that against the law to ask security to come enforce my rules?
It would be misuse of a police hotline if you called somebody like the police.
Security, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, great.
Yeah,
Well, I guess
so
we'll
are you
just.
gonna wait on them then?
Yeah, we'll just wait on them.
Absolutely.
No problem with that.
And your purpose in life right now is what? I mean, why
Freedom.
Freedom. What am I doing to limit your freedom?
You're taking my tax dollars. I wish I could keep those, but I don't get a choice. I got to pay you.
I don't personally take your tax dollars.
Well, you do. You've got an option to go get a job in the private sector. I'm sure you're a certified nurse, right?
I am.
So you
I'm a
could.
registered nurse with a master's degree in public health nursing.
Well, you could get paid a lot of money if you go to the private sector, couldn't you?
But I care about my public, and I believe in public health, which is why I do my job, and I like working here in public health.
If you got a job in the private
You are
sector.
walking around harassing people who choose to work in public health because you're saying that you take your tax dollars.
I'm not harassing anybody.
Then what are you here for? Are you here for an appointment? We've got COVID shots. Are you up to date? I would be very happy to provide that to you today. Do you need an STD test? We provide those. The police
Do you want to give me an STD test?
If you think you need one, I'm just giving you an idea of
Like, what would the charges be if I got an STD test?
It would be free.
Really? I know that because I know there's a government program on the federal level to distribute those. But hey, a STD test for free. I mean, and I will say though, you do understand that I've already paid for it in tax dollars.
I do understand,
Right.
and I pay taxes too.
Yeah.
So even though
I
I'm
hear you.
paid by tax dollars, I pay the same taxes as you do.
You give some of them, you give some of the tax dollars back. I get you. Yeah, but no, we aren't here to harass you. I mean, what we do is we just go around public buildings and record the public areas.
And report in public areas.
Yeah. And the thing that I was trying to tell you is unless there is a sign, and we did see there's no sign that says authorized personnel only.
Past that sign, okay.
Right. So if there's a sign.
An excellent point. And so if that
Right.
is it, then I will correct that. And thank you for that
Yeah.
information.
Well, hey, I appreciate you being willing to correct it, because that's the only thing is a lot of public employees get the wrong idea that it's like a private building. Like you can tell because if it was a private building, you could be like, hey, one, don't go where I don't want you to go, right? Because it's my building, but it's all of ours building. So until it is restricted by a sign or a locked door, we all have the same access.
Okay.
Which is what I'm trying to say. So
And that's, sure.
yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and if you, I mean, this footage will be on the internet. If you're interested in watching it, you'll see that we literally peeked in the door and recorded it and then left. So,
And that's
I mean,
perfectly fine.
Right.
I would prefer that you not touch or rummage through things. So.
Yeah, no, we did not do any of that. I mean, we saw a lot of stuff. I believe that was your office back there to the left, right?
Yes.
Right. We saw a phone out there. We didn't touch it. You know, we're not there to touch things or mess with things. We're literally just here to document the public areas.
Okay.
You took pictures of my desk.
Yes.
There's confidential things on that.
I get that. And that's the thing with a public building is it's in public. It is not my responsibility to not look at things. It is your responsibility to create your own privacy, which would be done through a locked door or through a sign, which I honestly, you know, if there is stuff like people's medical information on there, that's not my goal to show that to anybody, right? I wouldn't like my medical information being shown to people. Right. But that's why if I was in the public sector, I would certainly make sure that it's my responsibility to make sure that my client's paperwork is maintained as confidential, because that could be a serious problem. That's why I actually advocate for private health. I'm sure that you all are great at your job. I just wish that you would go and do it in the private sector, because then if I need your services, I pay for them. But right now I pay for them, and I really don't think I need them. Yeah. Hey. Yep. There he is again, man.
So we've had a discussion. I've learned something.
Okay.
He said we were busy.
Okay.
She was making a copy.
Okay.
He came in. The desk was unattended. He proceeded to access to our vaccines, and so his point being that I did not adequately have signage or a locked door, and that he should be able to go back and walk through.
Are you going to guarantee that if you got any personal information for any patients that come in here, it won't be broadcasted and put out?
I mean, on a personal level, I don't.
I mean, because that's a HIPAA violation, and I assume that I don't know how that would work. I assume that, you know.
No, you're right. If that was put out online, which I'm not sure I did see anything on that person's desk.
Can you just guarantee that if you go back and review it, if you see anything, you'll white it out or
yeah, I'll make a deal. I'll make a deal with you guys that, you know, like, as long as we all understand that even if it was a HIPAA violation, I made no commitment to abide by HIPAA's rules. It was your guys' HIPAA violation, not mine. And I, you know, I would never put, like, if somebody had STDs out on a desk, why would I post that online?
This is a learning experience for her.
Absolutely.
Okay? So all we're asking is, you know, if you happen to get some kind of, you'll blur it out or whatever you do.
Yeah, we don't do that whole. We make a point to, even when we see a private individual, keep them off camera, because we don't do all that stuff.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate that.
So out of curiosity then, so you gentlemen have met before, sounds like.
yeah, we ran into them over the courthouse.
Is this accurate information from your standpoint? Because I'm sure you're educating other department heads as you go through the Henry County government offices.
That's right.
That if there is an area that is not a locked door, or it doesn't have a sign that says no public or staff only or something like that, Is that correct, that I need to correct that and place something up here because I don't have a locked door?
Well, this is your office, and if you want to allow them to take a tour back through there.
Well, they did it without my knowledge.
Oh.
Nobody was at the desk, they came in and they went
So
back.
you guys went back there?
Yeah, we already went back there.
Okay.
But the thing is, man, is this is not her office. This is our office. You pay taxes, she pays taxes, I pay
Right.
taxes.
You can agree that somebody's got to run it, obviously.
Yeah, they are the steward of the office, but this is not their office. The rules for the public in a public office are set by the state legislature.
Right. So have you guys seen that back in there? Did you see what you guys wanted to see back in there?
Yeah, we were done. They just told us they called you guys, and we were waiting on you to come and figure it out.
Then if we leave, you guys are ready.
Good deal.
Right?
I don't make deals like that, man, but I am done in this office.
You got everything you needed, so there's no point to even be in here anymore.
We just don't want to interfere with the daily
Right.
duties of helping these patients.
No, I hear you. Yeah, and the other
There are
thing,
some sick people in here who need
yeah,
help.
and the thing is, man, is my whole purpose of this stuff is to go around and educate. So if we leave without taking something from each other, I think that there is a little bit of I failed to do my job.
Yeah, good deal.
So I'd like to, though, let it be known that while we're in a public building and we all have a contractual interest in it through our taxes, we cannot say that, hey, I know it's your building and it's my building, but I don't want you to go back there, so you can't go back there. The only way that should be done is by a sign being posted, and that says authorized employees or authorized personnel only. That way it's clear to those that aren't those people that they can't go in there, because it's all of our building. We all have the same access until that.
We all need medical help.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, no doubt, guys.
We're
So
out here.
awesome. All right. Hey, you have a good day. All right.
And just for your general knowledge, education coming this way, the
Yeah.
reason we have our masks on is because in our guidelines to provide immunizations right now under the State Department of Health,
Okay.
that is a requirement. Therefore, we do have the sign out there, and we do have
Yes.
people come in. So
Yeah, that was actually our first video that we ever made was a mask disagreement, and we looked into it in the Supreme Court, and you're right, that is your guys' policy to do that. So I respect that you guys are following your own rules and doing that.
Right.
The Supreme Court ruled that policies and rules for particular buildings apply only to employees or contractors while within that building. But while you're just a part of the public, the only rules you have to follow are the laws passed by the legislature in Indianapolis. So I agree. That's why we don't wear masks. I'm fine with it. I understand it. It's like if you can play your role. If I did see an elderly or a sick person in here, I probably would have masked up myself, but we didn't.
okay, well, I appreciate that very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. The people that watch the videos, they just like to see us only following the rules that we have to follow, because otherwise they think in their heads, and I'm with them on this, that the employees that we pay with our tax dollars are trying to take control of us, and it should be in their eyes and my eyes the other way around, that while we're paying somebody, they should do what we want them to do as a whole, right? Not as not if I come in here and say, do this, you shouldn't have to. But if we make a rule collectively as a society, then I believe that, yeah, you guys should do it. So that's the whole point. We're not here to cause problems or anything. We're literally just here to educate. Sometimes we have to litigate, but that's only when those guys violate. Those guys have been great with us here. So.
Have they? Okay.
Oh, they've been great. They came over, stood around. They said, "There's no problems here. We'll see you later." That's what they did this time. That's what we love to see. So, and we had a great conversation. I think we both learned something. So.
Well, we did. But
Yes.
do you have some time, or are you in a hurry?
Oh, I have a little bit of time.
A little bit of time?
Yeah.
Well, one of the.
I like to put that out, those ideas, because me as a private individual can't do anything. Like
Right.
I got one vote. I always vote for the loser in an election. So, and it's not because I like a loser. It's because I vote and then they end up just losing because nobody else has the same ideals, and they don't really. A lot of people don't have time to look into economics or history and how economics ties in with that, and how the public sector and their spending is a little bit more frivolous than the private sector. But that's what I do, is I try to disseminate this information to the public. Maybe they can see this and they may change their minds. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it makes them believe you more. I mean, who knows? It's all up for them. But this is why I do this, because I care. I love my country, and I want the best care for everybody in my country. Not only the best care in health, but I want the best care in the justice system. I think that the justice system in this country is absolutely terrible. I mean, like when I want.
Do you have a business card?
I don't have a business card, but I can leave you with some information if you'd like. I actually got a pen right here. How about that? You got a piece of paper for me? Awesome. Tyler, what'd you wear? Appreciate you. It's locked on. Alrighty, thank you. This is it all goes on YouTube, this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And usually, I mean, I'll be honest, this is the first public health department that we've came in that was actually this, open. So we haven't done a lot of what we call audits in there, the First Amendment audits. And the whole goal of them is to show that the justice system we've got the most laws in the world.
So if they weren't open, what do you mean?
I mean, there's a lobby, and then all of the other areas are literally there would be a semi-wall with a door in it here, and it would you can't access it because it's locked, and the only time that you can get through is when they say, okay, ding, come through. So that's what we usually run into. But I mean, the whole deal is it doesn't hurt for you guys to know that it is all right to do it, but the people we really want to know is the police, the sheriffs, and all that in this country, because the whole goal of these audits is to show we've got the most rules in the world as far as a government. We have the most laws that have been passed through our government than any other country in the world. We've got the most prisoners in this country per capita than any other country in the world. And the whole deal is, while they make us follow all these ridiculous laws, they don't even follow the laws that they have set out for themselves, which is the First Amendment. The right to the freedom of the press shall not be abridged by any law. So there is no law abridging our freedom to come into a public area and record, but they don't know that. So a lot of the times they'll come in and throw you in handcuffs, or they'll push you out of the building. They'll do a whole bunch of stuff because they don't even know the rules they have to follow. So that's really the goal. And none of this conversation will go on YouTube. I don't want to get you hearing my spiel, but if you do, you can go onto our YouTube page and all that. But yeah, I mean, that's what we do. We love freedom, and we just go around and advocate for it. And usually we run into a lot more resistance than that from law enforcement. So those guys are actually really great, and honestly. So I think you live in one of the better counties. I don't know do we have a local police force in this town? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check them out too, because the county boys were fine. They came in and did a nice job.
Yeah.
But
but just, from a public's perspective, it isn't normal that someone would walk through my door.
No.
You're intimidating. That's just all there is to it. When you come through the door like that, it's 2022, and we see people come in and shake places up. I mean, it's a concern.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. That's a lot of stuff. I mean, people act like it happens all the time, but there is one thing. I've never seen a shooter come in with a camera. But that's not to say it couldn't happen. I mean, be on your guard. But the only thing is while you're in your public capacity, I always say it to, as I said, I've never actually interacted with a public health official, but we like to run into polite public workers, which is what you were. You were very polite. So I just say give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, and if you are worried about shooters, I'd say, I mean, if it's a genuine concern, I would request to the county to put in some bulletproof glass here, because it's a viable concern. There may be somebody with a gun coming in here. So maybe bulletproof glass would be the way to go. So yeah, we just advocate for everybody's rights. This is America, and everybody's our brothers and sisters, and we just, even if they don't appreciate it, a lot of police officers don't appreciate that we're trying to extend people's rights and not retract them. We do it for them as well. Everyone benefits when we're more free. But it was great talking to you, all right? You have a good day.
Rights don't need to be convenient to be protected. In a world of locked doors and nervous glances, education, not enforcement, might be the key. Because sometimes, the greatest lesson comes not from the law books, but from a conversation across the line. What you just watched is more than a compilation. It's a powerful message that the Constitution matters. Knowledge is power, and recording is not a crime. Subscribe now and help spread the truth.